Hey, my people, thanks for tuning in once again. My name is Cynthia Cody. Keep subscribing. Thank you for subscribing, all those that have subscribed. I welcome you to episode 2 of my YouTube channel content. So, in the previous video, just a little, I forgot to ask you guys something. I was talking about how I was like thankful for school and all that, and then I forgot to ask you guys a quick question. What are those things you never you did to dodge school? Those things that you did to make sure like the next day you don't go to school, you missed an assignment, you haven't done your homework, and you know what our teachers used to do to us. Okay, so you do everything in your power to not go to school. Just go down to the comment section and let us know. We'll definitely talk about this. But for me, one of the things that I remember is one day I woke up. Morning flowers. So I had like morning flowers. And when I was young, I didn't even know the morning flowers. I think I was like in P2, primary 2. Like I had morning flowers everywhere. And then at that time I was staying with my auntie. So I went to my auntie and I was crying. Do you know those? Oh my Jesus. I cried. I'm like, Auntie, I don't know what has happened to my eye. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what kind of this is. I can't go to school. Luckily for me, I had a really nice auntie. So she's like, it's okay, you go and sleep. I think in her head she's like, okay, let me give her a break. Cause like I was this kind of person. I used to do my homework on time, I used to do everything on time. I don't know. I really don't know what happened that day. But a few comments I got from my friends when I asked them. One of my friends is like, should she just fall sick? Like put on a dozen of sweaters, like make that temperature go high. I mean, and so I was like, they would come and that, oh, yeah, I'm not. Yes, that's if her mom wasn't around. If her mom was, yeah. And then in boarding school, when she wanted to leave, and like they haven't visited her, and you're so broke. There are times you're so broke in secondary school, so she'd go to the nurse and she'd be like, she has candida, and she would open her legs, so she would like literally move it. I can't walk, nurse. Give me a pass out. God, you guys, school was crazy. Anyway, enough about that. Just tell us what your experience was and how you tried to do it school. We'll talk about this. Probably we'll have time to talk about it specifically. So today we are talking about relationships, toxic relationships. What is toxic? Toxic is something bad, according to me. This is all according to me. You can come down and comment section. I'll always be like, comment section if you have something to say. So a toxic relationship, according to me, is like a relationship between two people that don't really support each other. You would think you're supporting each other, but in actual sense you're not really supporting each other. So there are different things that like are in a toxic relationship. One, the signs of a toxic relationship. Two, you may think you're in a toxic relationship when you're actually the toxic person. So we have to like look at different toxic traits. I feel like all of us, like when actually was going through toxicity, that word, you say it. So when I was going through that word, I realized I think all of us are toxic, guys. We're all toxic. But anyway, so we're gonna talk about this and see. It helped me, like when I went through this. How I am now is not how I was. I learned something about myself, and it's always good to know something about yourself, whether good or bad. At the end of the day, it helps you. So today we're talking about signs. We're just doing signs. Next time, I don't know, maybe we'll do examples of toxic traits, or we'll do how to know you have a toxic trait. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to see how we can fight them. It's not easy fighting a toxic trait. For example, I'll give an example of me. One of the toxic traits I had, and I struggled controlling, you guys. I can mean to be short-tempered. My friends know that. And that's why I usually love moving with calm friends. You can't mix fire with fire. You can't all, like, if you're in groups, guys. I don't know how you do your friendship groups, because people, girls, even guys, even men, people usually move in groups. But usually you will find that there's always like that person that has a short temper, and there's a with a long temper, and there's the short person, there's the tall person. Like the different kinds of people. So I usually prefer to have friends that have a low temper. So I don't even have time for getting annoyed, because usually, I mean, they don't like put me off, or even if I'm off, or if I get angry, they're not going to react back, and you get. But like I realized some time back that I have anger issues, and these days every time like I'm in an argument with someone, I try to keep that tone. One thing I realized is when you're having an argument with someone, if you keep your tone down, it helps a lot. But once you're like, definitely there's gonna be higher, it's gonna be higher reactions, high, I don't know, like that fight is not going to end at all. So anyway, let's look at some of the signs of a toxic relationship. I mean, I'll keep updating you on what we're going to talk about next on our YouTube channel. So one of the signs of a toxic relationship is all take, no give. I know, right? It's so sad. All take, no give is you're in a relationship but you keep giving. You see, you're always giving, you're always the one giving, and you're not being given. I'll give an example. You're always the one buying presents, you're always the one being there for someone when they are on the low, you're always the one who's calling, you're always the one who's checking up on this person. When this person is sick, you're there. But when it turns the other way around, when you need the person is not there. When you call, probably they don't pick and they do not call back. When you need them, like you have a problem and you want them to be there for you, they aren't there for you. Something like, so it's a give, you're giving, but you're not getting. Relationships, yes, they usually say relationships is all about giving, but if you're in a relationship, even with friends, I'll give an example. You're always with this friend, and every time you're like, hey man, first pass me aka 5k there, I pass you. Yo, first man, first help me. I like an outfit tonight. Can I borrow your outfit? There you are. Yo man, like I have an issue, man, tase. And then my time comes, I'm like, man, first help me with 1,000. Casa, what's that? I don't have. Hey, I want to talk to you tonight. I have a problem. So that's like all take and no give. Like you're giving, but so like what's the point of the relationship? Because I feel like relationships are all about being supporting like in every way, be it in terms of in sickness and health, though some people be like in health and in health, in rich and in rich. But I mean, you get into a relationship knowing what you want. Some people just get into a relationship, but it's always good to get into a relationship knowing exactly what you're going for in a relationship. Then the other thing about a toxic relationship that I do not like, my Jesus, body shaming. Oh my Jesus Christ. It's like, I don't know, body shaming, for example, you're too black, you're too fat, damn, your ass is a fan. Like, really, why would you even tell someone this? I've actually ever been body shamed before. So I did BBA. So I was in a BBA class, and I posted my products. I would usually post my products, so I'm like, if you're interested, inbox. And Bambi, I posted with my fingers, and for some reason the camera, like me, I check myself to be dark skinned. Though some people be like, yo, chocolate, I just say dark skinned. So it's like the knuckles, is it I think they call them knuckles, came out and then someone went on and is like, yo, find yourself a hand model. Like I was like, oh my god. I was like, okay, like people are just there to body shame. And like I've had friends that come to me and talk about body shaming, and like, oh my god, this person says I'm too fat. I feel like like there is a right approach. Like I feel like you don't have to tell someone necessarily if someone is gaining weight. I don't feel like you should be like, you're going fat, you're fat, you're fat. Really. According to me, I feel like you should be like, oh, you've gained some weight. Do you like the fact that you've gained some weight? Then get the response from the person. If there are people who are okay with gaining weight, like me, I want to gain weight. I'm just not thinking, see all these bones, I don't want these bones to be there. Yes, so you have to ask, is the person comfortable gaining weight? If the person is comfortable gaining weight, then you're like, okay, cool. But then if you realize someone's not really comfortable gaining weight, you're like, oh, by the way, maybe you could start doing exercises. Maybe you could, take green tea or so. I don't know, those like weight reduction stuff, but like not like coming out and yeah. So that's like another sign of a toxic relationship. Then there's another one called feeling drained. There's feeling drained. When you're in a relationship, you're not supposed to feel drained. You're just supposed to feel so happy when you're with someone. You're supposed to. I have been in a relationship whereby when I see my boyfriend calling, I get so excited. Even though I've like been in a relationship for some time. And I feel like that's how a relationship is supposed to be, But I have also been in well, when someone calls you like, quarrel after quarrel. Like, I would not want to have that kind of relationship again. It feels so good being in a relationship whereby someone calls and you're happy. You guys, you can actually be in a relationship for a month without fighting, or even more. But I have friends. If a week passes and they haven't fought, the village people are doing something. They are bewitching their relationship. They have to fight. But then I realized that relationships are different. Because like when they fight, after the fight, they love. So I don't even want to talk much about that. But that was the point. Like, you guys can just comment and tell me your experiences. And then consistent judgment. Like if someone is always judging you, like your babe, what are you putting on? Like, you're not looking good. Hello, as in, why would you even say it that way? Like, you're supposed to appreciate someone. By the time you go with this person, someone is always like not comfortable with what you're doing. Someone literally is always judging you every step of the way. You want to start something, you're like, why would you do that? How can you do that? Something like that. And then unreliability, someone who is unreliable. I can't call you when I have a problem. Like, I feel like if you're with a partner, this is like the first person you'd call if you had an issue. But you don't pick up your calls. The relationships whereby someone, you want to call and talk to someone, but you can't. But when they want to call you and you don't pick, then that's a problem. But you calling and they don't pick, then there's no problem there. You get. Then there's another one called controlling. Someone who is controlling. Whoa. For example, you're not going anywhere tonight. I have experienced two sides of that. I have been with someone that is free and is like, go out if you want to go out, come back when you feel like coming back. And then I have also been with someone who's like, you are not going anywhere. Why would you go out when I'm here? And guys, what I realized, I'm just going to summarize. There are so many different traits or characteristics of a toxic relationship. Like, they will not end. There are so many. But I'm gonna like end here on controlling, and I'm gonna give you an example. So with this guy that couldn't allow me, like, he's like, no, you're not leaving. You'd feel frustrated. You're like, I want to go out with the girls. Sometimes you're not even going to cheat, or you're not even thinking of another guy. Like, you literally just want to go out and chill with the girls, but this person is not going to allow you. And you stay and you feel frustrated, and you guys, you don't even really enjoy with him. Like, everyone is on their side of the bed. Like, everyone is minding their business. But with the other relationship where this guy was so free, he's like, babe, if you want to go, go. When you come back, I'll open the door. So I went out sometime. I left like at 9. I left and I went out. I went out with my friends. So we reached the club. I think we had gone to Thrones. Where is it? Thrones. It was like those clubs of Bugodobi. And I started missing him. I was like, I've left my baby. I've left my baby. Yeah. I was back by 11. And he's like, baby, why? I'm like, shut up, let's sleep. So that showed me that if you actually give someone freedom and just someone knowing that they're free to do what they want, like they are free to go out and have fun, and as long as you're in a relationship and you trust someone. I came back home. I was like, babe, shut up. So we had a beautiful night together. We're like literally cuddling, and it would have been the same for the other relationship. I'm thinking, because when I went to the club, I saw everyone with their babe, and everyone was like, with their babe, and I was there being single. I was like, So yeah, that's like my story. You can also go to the comment section and drop some of the comments what you think. Otherwise, that's it for today. Hopefully you learned something about toxic relationships, how to know in a toxic relationship.